movie gross sales won the poll. So this is that video. So I'll go through the inflation-adjusted sales, and then we'll also do groupings by movie length and genre. Now, the way the list works, some of the films have multiple genres. For example, the Star Wars, it was adventure, action, sci-fi. So there are three different genres. So a film could have multiple genres associated with it. We'll also get into the average ticket price, and we'll do some CPI data to show how much the value of money has changed over time. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so to have an idea of how much the value of currency has changed over time, I have the calculator for the United States dollar and then a calculator for the UK pound. So we'll just try this out. So one film in the list was Gone with the Wind, which was released in 1939. So if we compare, let's just say May 1939. Okay, scroll all the way over. Compare that to May of 2023. Let's just say we had a dollar. Had a dollar in 1939. How much would that be in today's money? So let's calculate. Wow, okay, so a dollar in 1939 would be $22.04 today. Now let's go over to the United Kingdom. So if we had £1, let's say we had £10. 1939 compared to 2023. Let's calculate. Wow, so £10 in 1939 would be 836 quid, 27 pence today. Average inflation rate of 5.41 per year, and an overall price increase of 8,262.73%. So, yeah, huge difference. So as you can see, the inflation over time is, Okay, so continuing with the inflation calculators, we'll go to the euro and then the New Zealand dollar. Now the one for the euro, it does go back as far. So we'll put in, so if we had a euro, even though the euro didn't exist in 1991, but we'll just, for sake of argument, we'll just calculate the inflation. So if we had a euro, or its equivalent, in 1991, what would it be in 2023? Okay, so in 1991, if one euro would be €2 today. So essentially, you need it doubled. Yeah, need €2 today to have equivalent €1 in 1991. Okay, now let's go to New Zealand. Now, one thing in New Zealand, I think it was in 1969, they changed from the pound and shilling to the dollar, the New Zealand dollar. So that's why you'll see the different symbols. But okay, so Q2 New Zealand dollars today. So wow, so that's 100-fold. So again, huge differences. Okay, so I have a list of inflation-adjusted lifetime grosses for movies. I'll leave a link in the description to the source. But, so you have the rank, the title of the film, the inflation-adjusted lifetime gross, the lifetime gross unadjusted for inflation, the estimated number of tickets sold, year release, the genres of the film, movie length, and again this is in hours, so Gone with the Wind was 3 hours and 58 minutes. The budget for the film, again that's the year, so the budget that's probably like in 1938. And you have the average ticket price unadjusted for inflation. Then I did some correlation checks, but we'll get to those later. So the number one ranked film is Gone with the Wind. Had an inflation-adjusted lifetime gross of $1,895,421,694 US dollars. Estimated number of tickets sold 202,286,200. It was released in 1939. Genres were drama, romance, and war. Length of 3 hours, 58 minutes. A budget of $3,850,000. The average ticket price was 99 cents in 1939, which would be about $22, as we saw from the CPI calculator earlier. There we go, Star Wars Episode 4, New Hope. It was released in 1977. Sound of Music, 1965. E.T., 1982. Titanic, 1997. And, let's see, Ten Commandments, 1956. Jaws, 1975. Dr. Zhivago, 1965. There we go down. So I took the top 50. And again, this is ranked by inflation-adjusted lifetime gross. Yeah, I stopped at 50. So Airport was the last one. So, that's kind of an overview. Let's go into the graphs. So, I did a sum of the releases by decade. So, the 1930s had 1.3 billion. 1940s 1.9 billion, 1950s 2.1 billion, 1960s 7.5 billion. The 1970s was the golden age of movie making, 9.3 billion. Then the 80s 3.7 billion. And then the 90s, 2000s, and 2010s have been between 4 to 5 billion. You can see the graph here. See, it kind of peaked in the 60s and 70s. And again, this is the top 50 lifetime, or, wanted to see was there a particular length of movie. Now the intervals, so 1 hour and 15 minutes to an hour and 31 to an hour and 45 minutes, hour and 46 minutes to 2 hours, 2 hours and 1 minute to 2 hours 15 minutes, 2 hours 16 minutes to 2 hours 30 minutes, 2 hours 31 minutes to 2 hours 45 minutes, and so on. And the final one was 3 hours 46 minutes to 4 hours. So, and as you can see, the clear winner is 2 hours and 1 minute to 2 hours and 15 minutes. So, yeah, it's not really even close. So that's the ideal length for the movie. Next, wanted to see if there was a particular genre that was more popular for being a high-grossing movie. And again, movies can have multiple genres, as was evidenced by the data set. So, Sound of Music was a drama, a romance, and a musical. Titanic was a drama, romance. Ben-Hur was adventure and drama. So, looked at the genre. So the most common type was adventure, then action, then drama, sci-fi, romance, comedy, family, animation, thriller, ride, musical, history, war, fantasy, western, mystery. So those are that was the most common genre type. So, you might say, what does all this data mean? Well, it means that if you want a film to have the best chance of being a high grosser, you need to make it between 2 hours and 1 minute to 2 hours and 15 minutes. It needs to be an adventure and action film. If you don't want it to be a high grosser, then make it 3 hours 46 minutes to 4 hours, and make it a western or musical. I don't even know if that's possible to create that, but I guess if you put that combination, that would minimize the chance of it being a high grossing. Alright, so I also did some calculations to find out what was the cheapest ticket. And as you can see, the 10 Commandments had the lowest average ticket price, 50 cents. And again, this is unadjusted for inflation. 10 Commandments, Sleeping Beauty, Ben-Hur, Goldfinger, Thunderball, Cleopatra, Dr. Zhivago, Fantasia, Gone with the Wind. If we wanted to see the highest ticket price, be Avengers Infinity War at $9.37. Incredibles, Black Panther, Last Jedi, Avengers Endgame. So, that's interesting. And if we want to look at some correlation data. So, I wanted to see if there was a correlation between how long a movie was and the lifetime gross, and it came out to 0.44. And again, a correlation of 1 is a perfectly positive correlation, meaning the longer the movie, the higher the gross. And a perfectly negative correlation would be the shorter the movie, and it was 0.87, so a very strong positive correlation. So the more money spent on the film, the more it grossed. Okay. This is a Statsima, wishing that your efforts have a positive correlation with the results. So long and